Good round from Mousesports. So just a well-placed stack, it feels.
All right, so if you just started watching this game and thinking, oh, it's Nuke, this could go either way, I'll be paying a bit more attention now because this is always a super interesting situation where you win that second round force, especially as a CT side, where your economy is a little bit harder to develop and actually grow. You can make life really hard for the T's here. Now when they're going down to Tech 9, so we need to see something from EnVyUs with limited utility in this round.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for them to make it work because you can see how heavily Mousesports have invested towards all that utility to deny these rushes.
That's what you want.
But they didn't molly vents. No, they do it from main.
It's late.
Okay, that was weird. Rather than doing the hut, well, they mollied hut and then not the door. So they've been able to get a plant. Sure, it might not go beyond this, but still, to allow a plant to come through is more than I expected, and a weird use of the utility there. Maybe a bit of a miss, maybe a little bit of a... Okay, that was weird. Rather than doing the hut, bangs out the molly straight hut and then
normally he drops it down. As soon as he gets into heaven,
so they've been able to get a plant. Sure, it might not go beyond this, but still, it could be enough rush. It could be more than I expected in the back of their minds, and a weird how they approach this or how EnVy likes to play. Throw your mind back to the first round, even happy set up that piece with the flash. So,
but look what happens though. When you molly it late, you allow a vent dive and a bomb plant. On this map, as a T side, with like any sort of normal spawn, you can get from spawn to having planted the bomb after 25 seconds in the round.
Yeah, and also Christian here with the AWP. That's quite interesting, rather than Oscar. So maybe just, it could be completely map dependent. I need to kind of catch up on how they like to split it, whether it's T, CT, whether it's map, spawn. You know, there's so many variations or, you know, small pieces that can change up from this. And we're seeing the kind of deeper mollies as well kind of spreading there. You saw Happy kind of being hindered by it, just because of the additional kind of, I guess it's like maybe an inch or so that's been added to the hut, you know, the little tin hut approach that got changed. It can make a big difference, Mitch. XMS here. Looking for a little bit of play towards ramp.
Oh, there it is. That's the deagle shot. Rops is down. And XMS is going to have a bit of passage now towards the lower levels. But the thing is, the bomb's been left towards outer
CT, come on.
So EnVyUs now a little bit slowed up here in their execution, but it doesn't matter. They've got themselves the man advantage. Some weapons have been salvaged as well. Happy's got a deagle. There's actually a UMP there on the side of XMS, but Chris Jakes. The thing is, the bomb's been left towards
CT, come on.
EnVyUs now a little bit slowed up here in their execution. And they retract their positioning on the map here and get ready to retake the lower side.
Yeah, Six has got a bit of a predetermined path just purely because his teammate was there first. So XMS is trying to secure as they go. He's going to try and get a nice little after plant position or just deny anyone from quickly trying to deny the plant itself. And now that's down, but you've already got a player down by control room as well. I think that's Oscar. Yeah, just heading up there himself in towards the corner. He's a little ahead of everyone else. No one else is quite there yet. Lol's still pretty far away. And where's Chris J in this? Still on upper, so yeah, this is a long old retake they're going for. Here? I'm not sure, there might be someone up there, or maybe playing late down vents, but that's not the case here. XMS going to be playing very close to the vents. I don't know if Chris J's seen anything. Now he's going to hear the shots coming from that UMP, but time is of the essence here.
Here.
I'm not sure, there might be someone up there, or maybe playing late down vents, but that's not the case here. XMS going to be playing very close to the vents. I don't know if Chris J's seen anything. Now he's going to hear the shots coming from that UMP, but time is of the essence here. And EnVy in a decent spot now. XMS finding one. Great job from him. Just leaves down with a deagle. And Chris J, you got to run away here.
Yeah, he's got an AWP and he needs to save it on this map. Beautiful stuff from EnVyUs here. And I mean, now on 3 occasions, we've seen teams... Okay, so literally 3 out of 4 rounds, teams have won in a force situation. They've won against a better, you know, armed opponent. That's interesting, it's curious, and it also speaks a little bit to Mousesports' uncertainty with the CT side. How well are the cogs sort of gelling with each other? You know what I mean? Well, they don't gel, they engage. But, you know, we look from things as simple as to a later molly on the upper side, to allowing that out of control, to not being able to get into the lower side. These are these things that you need to be critical of Mousesports and saying, not everything is working the way it should.
No, I'm not a fan of Oscar being the one to molly this out. Personally, I prefer a little bit of a different approach. You can save his and play a little later, but Chris J's going to make the difference here. Good start to deny RPK any sort of play towards the outer area or have a little bit of free reign, and hopefully for Mousesports, they don't get kind of stuck on those kind of the rotates and retaking there. It was a little bit kind of ominous. It was a little bit suspect. And Rops seems like he's a little worried about the lower bomb side. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if they've kind of lost vision somewhere or lost control and he's trying to refine a place on it. But right now, EnVy is still focusing on taking over ramp. Christian is going to see this, but he doesn't want to overextend or get caught here. And again, having to just kind of play this as they go. And
that flash has no value for him then if he's not really prepared to peek on it. There's so many spots there as well at the top of the ramp of the boxes that it could be a head just peeked over. Any challenging screen there, so it's always a risk to lose that AWP. He wants to hold it. But But again, it gets really, really hard to retake this bottom side with that AWP late in the round.
But they've still got 2 players down here. Not only Dennis is here, but Robs as well, who's going to play off the back of the contact that Dennis takes. Nicely played between those two. An early piece to go downstairs. Kind of a bit of a gamble, but I guess that passive play from Robs now makes sense as to how them holding in this position. Now you can see the contact again, being caught by one, traded out for the other. Good play between Dennis and Robs there. Leaving Happy in not an impossible situation, but a very unlikely one. And the passive positioning and the well-played crossfire coming in between those two secures the round for Mousesports, and they keep a lot of players up here. Dennis, of course, got caught up in
going for any fast play. They're not nading the door out and rushing through.
Yeah, so you look at certain teams, they really like that. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Robs needs to back away from this. He needs to call for backup because he knows that EnVy will want to pounce on that, because you can tell when you dink someone up that much.
You know.
And now RPK is hunting it down so quickly. An easy connect, well, not easy, but easy for RPK, let's put it that way. And he's going to be sat down by Oscar in the end. And now a 4v3 will occur, but already Mousesports starting to respond to this lower control coming out from EnVy, but Chris J playing a very passive position here over by CT Spawn, going to be rushed down. Happy trying to just be a real nuisance, but it's sloppy and right through the window. Chris J, nice little shot there towards Happy, eventually trying to quell what was beginning, but that got a little bit worrying.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that Chris J having to correct his aim every time. Had no idea where Happy was going to be. It was beautiful stuff from Happy to keep him guessing, but it was only Robs to fall on that round, and it was that one deagle shot. I mean, it kind of feels like a waste, isn't it? Getting a 1 HP kill with a deagle. Either way, that was RPK, was silenced immediately after there by Oscar. And this is Mousesports. They're allowing a fair bit of real estate to be taken here.
Clearly they like the ragdolls over in production. I can imagine a couple of giggles.
Are you kidding? That was your observing style as well. You remember that?
Yeah, I'm an outstanding observer.
The ragdolls.
Look, when my casting career is over, which who knows, could be soon, I can get into observing.
I wonder that every time we get here in cast, but you know, we still keep going back for some reason.
RPK with the AWP? Did he just pick that up off Sixer? I hope he did. That'd been a bit curious otherwise.
I'll have that AK.
Yeah, is that not?
He might have put it somewhere for Happy. Yeah, he's done that.
Yeah, that's the case. That makes far more, much more sense. But still, losing on a player early is going to be pretty tricky for EnVyUs now to make the hits count. You've got Dennis in a really good spot over by Secret, and something I didn't mention in this game is Dennis playing towards T-Red. Something he's very, very good at, the aggression he likes to kind of play with. He hasn't done it in this round particularly, but he'll push up towards T-Red and make a real nuisance of himself. Cost EnVy time, cost teams, positioning. Make sure he gets favorable trades and information gathered. So something to keep your eyes on later into this one if he feels it's required. But for now, they're certainly fine. 4-2 at this point. Chris J keeping eyes towards that upper balcony. Brilliant work towards Scream. Good positioning. Smokes out. And now he can hop up back if he wants to, but he's a little cautious. There'll be someone looking for the trade out, and there is. That's Happy there. Nice adjustment from Chris, though. Going to adjust the angle, go back down towards lower. Be a little cautious of ramp, while Happy looks to see if Chris J would dare peek again.
Yep, consistent frags from Chris in that position the last 2 rounds has made it hard for EnVyUs. I mean, if you want to throw a line of smokes and go to Secret, fine. But they can't get much closer. They can't pressure the player at mini. They can't really play in towards Annex. And they can't get up, in the VP style, I guess, over towards Heaven by playing around the rafters around the outside of the building. So that limits them greatly here.
Yeah, and there's the crossfire from lower. This seems to be better for Mousesports so far. And it's hard to kind of quantify whether it's EnVy being lackluster or Mousesports being better so far. Now, this is CT side. Mousesports are able to kind of turn the rounds they needed, keep the economy going. So, I'm not going to read too much into it early just yet. But still, this is better than the previous performances from Mousesports on this map. It seems a little bit more solid. I really like the play between, so far, Dennis and Rops there down towards lower. Nice crossfire pieces. It seems very, very on point, and the money's becoming more and more robust. You look at Chris J's money sitting on 9K here, 8 down by Oscar, really well spread across the board. And on the other side, it's EnVy having to deal with, the receiving end of losing out on a couple of these rounds quite severely. Upgraded pistols, but that's about it. You of course, have that rifle that's left over with XMS he saved from that previous round. Happy with a decent spawn here. You might be able to make a little something happen. Trying to get that hole to appear through the door. Not going to happen too easily with the Deagle. And Robs just waits to see if anyone would dare come through that smoke.
I'd like to see EnVyUs sort of test Mousesports' timings on utility they use in the upper site, see if they can exploit it, because they can't play outer. Their only play has been into ramp room so far, and it gets shut down by passive positioning on the lower site there. 1, 2, only 2 for Robs so far, but Chris J's going to be there to try and support. Deagle comes in. It's ballsy, I must say. He realized he needs to back out there, and now Mousesports need to respond. Dennis might swap places with him, go in and challenge ramp room. Happy's going to push forward with the Deagle. EnVyUs are chasing the kills here. Dennis, though, receives, takes them both down. And EnVyUs now, the full degree of their folly is revealed.
Yeah, and Sixer, there's no armor on him, so even though he's got a gun, it's kind of neutered as to what he can achieve, and saving for 50 seconds is a long old time. Mousesports might want to try and get that out of his hand, keep that money as low as possible for the EnVy side. They've got a couple of dollars to spare here. They could certainly hunt it down. It's not like they're suffering at this point. And Sixer, if you can get a plant, it'd be impressive, but it's unlikely. There's still players downstairs. You've still got Oscar down here, if I'm not mistaken. And I can imagine Dennis will probably be there pretty quickly. Nice try from Sixer. A good little attempt, but not going to break through at all. In the end, it's Mousesports keeping 4 alive, denying the plant, making their money even better. But we finally see a bit of a buy coming back in. XMS won't be able to because he, had the gun from before, blah, 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 blah. So he's going to be suffering on towards that Tech 9. Sixer, I'm wondering what he goes for here. Just the rifle.
Just rifle, yeah.
No AWP to come out.
No outside play as well.
No, this could be different. I'm hoping there's a switch up of pace here from EnVy, maybe a little bit of a different stance, a little bit of a different approach.
It's got these smokes, actually.
Yeah, we could see the line of smoke possibly outside. This seems a little bit more standard, this kind of slower play outside with 3 of the players. Last time around, it was actually Chris J who kind of dismantled this with the AWP. He was very, very good at that. Got the opener towards Sixer and then kind of kept going on it. So I'd be wondering if that maybe happens again. Yeah,
you need to have your smoke set up, though, actually, to allow your players to get into the warehouse, into the garage, because most teams just throw them to get into a secret, and that's fine. But the reason why Chris J is there is not really to kill anyone going secret, it's to kill anyone that's trying to get any further north on the mini-map of that little corridor up against the chain link fence. And he's been shutting most teams just throw them to get into this. And there's no AWP brought up for EnVyUs here as well. So there's no, like, 1-2, punch or trade scenario that you can really get together with Happy or Sixer. Okay, see how these smokes are done. It's not just for secret. It's going to let them get closer, but they won't get into Annex because Dennis is watching the gap in the smoke. He's flashed. And they do go.
I'm wondering who's holding lower now. For me, I'm just keeping eyes on the Mousesports rotates. Who's the first to kind of go down? Normally it is Dennis, but he was the one who was in kind of the mat cut. So, I don't know. They might get a little bit of freedom here, EnVy. No one's in control room yet. Robs is going to be playing late off of ramp. He could be in a good spot here. No one's pushed up that far. They're over towards control room and the stairs down below, but you can see this is going to be using that utility that EnVy have. Not much of, but it's going to be allowing them to get the bomb towards the site. Maybe consider a plant here. There we go. RPK's going to get it down. It's a 5v5 retake. This is actually very tough now for Mousesports, giving over a lot of room here for EnVy.
Well, Mousesports didn't have anyone playing secret, didn't have anyone playing double door, didn't have anyone playing observatory or lower in vents. So they give all this ground to EnVyUs now. They get the retake. This is pretty nasty for EnVyUs because they should win this round out. They got a big advantage. The bomb's down. 9 times out of 10 should be winning those rounds, especially with the utility they've got. It's a 2v2 though. Sixer flashes out the door. Going to run straight into Oscar though, who eats him alive. And now it's RPK v Oscar. Oscar pushed through. Doors open. Spray down. Not there. The veteran wins out, and RPK, the tank, lives on.
Bit of a whiff there in the end from Oscar. A bit of a shame. That could have been more than that. But a strange round from Mousesports. I was kind of surprised that no one rotated or put themselves in a better position earlier for that lower kind of push. We saw Robs being down there before, Dennis creating the crossfire between each two, but playing that 5-man retake on the site was pretty tough. You could see that utility slowed it down. They weren't able to make any sort of entry in towards the site or, reply to the site being taken, just because that smoke and molly were cutting off Robs from being able to peek out from ramp. But pause comes in. Let's see this one all over again. This is from, whose perspective is this? Is it RPK's? I can imagine. And he is just watching this one unfold.
Yeah, he's the one with that particular skin. He loves it. Not a big fan of it, to be honest, but...
No, it looks a little tacky. It looks like a very poor rip-off of Akira.
Katakana up there. It's just a bunch of logos. Yeah.
Have you seen Akira?
Yeah, the anime. That's
Yeah.
super OG, Lauren.
I love it.
You
I've got an Akira jacket at home because I'm a massive weeb.
You got an Akira jacket? Or did you have one already?
No, I got one pretty recently because I rewatched it. It was one of my favourite films of all time. Rewatched it, I was like, do you know what? Getting on that. I hate myself a little bit for it.
I mean, you can dress up the body pillow with it, I guess.
Yeah,
Makes
that's
it more, a
actually
bit
the plan.
more human.
Yeah, it does.
Interesting. Akira.
Why do you think I've been having trouble sleeping recently?
Well, I didn't really question it any further than you telling me. I don't really question women about, you know, sleeping problems or that kind of stuff.
It's probably
Just
good.
just leave it.
Good idea.
But, Lauren,
Yep.
now you just made me think. Now you made me question everything.
Left on the floor, all alone.
That's an incendiary. Oh, there's a Molly.
How dare you?
Yeah,
How dare you
that's
question me?
pretty questionable behaviour from yours truly.
Oh,
I
got
was,
some
I was
observing.
looking at the
Here we
smoke
go.
grenade. There you go.
Oh, have you seen the chicken thing? Is it Rush observing? Can you get to radio? Off we go.
Oh, was that in the boardroom?
Yeah. So you go to radio. There's a little office in the
Straight
back.
on your-
Wait,
no,
where
no,
is
keep
it?
going.
Where is it? I need to
It's
find
not
it.
in here.
Where?
It's in the lower levels.
Is it lower levels? Am I being dumb? I found it yesterday. There's like a little like a board up somewhere.
Yeah,
Is it in
it's-
control room maybe?
It's
Yeah, control room.
adjacent to control room.
No.
Oh, hello.
Oh.
No, we've crashed.
Oh,
We've gone too far.
We pushed it too far. They can't control it.
We're all DC. Okay, the problem is I have my feet up on the table because I'm lazy, and we had DC. So
Hello.
We'll sort ourselves out here. So we have a server switch. That's pretty bad. That's generally not good news at all. Server's down. However, we'll be working on that one, getting it sorted
Gives
pretty
you more
soon.
time to check out the turtleneck.
Yeah, that's right. It's pretty
Which is the
legit.
important thing.
I've also same as Sato. I've gone with the
You've gone for the low cut
shirt.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's another Henry G look. It's another classic.
It is. I think he does it. He goes for that one.
Yeah, and you got a way better pop collar than I do. Mine's a little, it's got a little bit
Well,
of
I
something
just figured
going
out that was a thing today, but
on. You do
that
look
is a
like you
thing.
could be in Greece, maybe, Just selecting it over.
All right, well,
Beautiful.
let's go to a break, ladies and
Fine.
gentlemen,
We've got
because
great topics to discuss, such
Oh,
as Mitch's hair.
get me the F out of here. Much, but in the meantime, we'll be back and wait till the players to get in. See you in a sec. Kill me, Laura.
Counter-Strike is sharing incredible moments with us and will return to a memorable place. Get your tickets now at proleague.com/Dallas.
start the round or something like that. I don't really know what happens, you know, at the higher echelons of the, you know, the brains trust or the peanut gallery, as it sometimes is, of the guys that are in charge of the servers and how they work this kind of stuff out. But
someone's just lagged out on my screen.
Yeah, Malik's left the game. And
might be careful because I think the server might be doing things.
Yeah, might be going down again.
Who knows? Do you know what? Yeah, there it is. Hello. You can come back to us if you want. Oh, check what's in the inventory. Let's have a little peep.
There's not much there, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, a revolver. Very nice, very nice.
This is just an obs account.
Oh, some default CT gloves. Another treat.
Okay, so the situation as far as we know it, and it's a little bit limited for us, is that something wasn't quite right there. But Lauren, look, people are just joining in. Maybe people have come and gone. Maybe they've forgotten what's been happening in this game. Let's just rehash a little bit of what we saw here, because the first 2 rounds were really back and forth. 3 out of 4 of the first rounds here on Nuke were won by the team that force-bought into them.
Yeah, no, it was, you know, quite a game until that point. For me, it was mostly people like, surprisingly, I know it sounds weird, but Dennis doing quite well. Chris J having a good couple of moments as well with the AWP. He's been picking up over Oscar so far on Nuke, and it's been working out quite nicely. Dennis hasn't been going for that, you know, very attentive aggression that he likes to do. By T-Red, he'll push up to it and be a real nuisance for the T side. He hasn't done it yet, but he's been playing down towards Secret. Rob's been doing well, kind of playing towards Ramp, being a quick rotate down towards lower as well. The crossfire they had, actually, when EnVy went for that hit down there, was actually really nice to watch. So again, something to watch back.
Like Rops and Oscar down there, I think it was, sitting right back on the side.
Yeah, definitely had a couple of moments with him. So yeah, have a little look towards it. I'm just keeping my eye on the new player. I want to see how he kind of fits into this role, because he was saying he was, you know, going to be a lurker, but, you know, it could change depending on, you know, the strats that are called. So there's a lot to be seen with these guys. And yeah, we know the history here, let's put it nicely, with Mousesports on Nuke. It's not exactly been wonderful. So this is a good start for them.
And an issue for us, I think, in the last few rounds, or at least the last round specifically, was that Mousesports gave EnVy so much room to move, right? Yeah. They actually had no one on the lower side of the map in any position. Everyone was in, I think, the lower side of the map in any position. Everyone was in, I think the closest was Rops in radio room or something like that, or in ramp room, should I say.
Yeah.
And EnVyUs got a plant off the 5 players. They had 5 players in there, all managed to get that plant down there. And then there was when the retake effort had to come in. But Mousesports are actually giving a fair bit of ground. They're using Chris J in fairly passive positions back over towards Heaven, sort of, you know, peeking towards the outside of the map with the AWP, just in case anyone's trying to go through Annex or get up close and maybe flank on ramp room. So that's what we're seeing right now. It's working quite well, especially Chris J's position. He's able to have a good impact. Ropes there, well, I think, was 7 kills, 4 deaths at one point there. He was equal first on the server. So, I mean, we top fragged last game. So, you know, okay, well, look, I'm seeing Reddit threads. All right, it's pretty standard. People are like, oh, it looks like this guy is pretty good. Okay, first game done. He did a good job. There's no doubt about it. There were a few eco rounds where we saw Ropes actually, you know, sort of stack the frags up. So we still want to watch him play.
Yeah,
and, you know, the caveat is that he's a passive player. He likes to sit back and be more calculated. There's been a lot of discussion about how he, you know, his positioning, how he played in FPL, how he seemed to know where he had to be and all that. But he seems to just have a different way of looking at the game. So.
Yeah, and I'm seeing if this works out now. The teams are just doing, and we're waiting to see if the coach gets put into the coach role. They are buying as we speak. I just want to make sure this works out before. But neither of the coaches are in at the moment. I think they're going to have to rejoin and then just go to the spectator slots.
Yep.
Ooh, he's gone to... Yeah, so both in. Yeah, both okay now. Here we go. Everything's back in the way. I just wanted to make sure the coaches got in as well, because last time I think that was one of the problems they were having. And we can turn down the suspenseful music, because CSGO will be suspenseful enough at this point.
So just so everyone knows, it's 6-3 right now. The score will update at the end of this particular round. So just keep that in the back of your head. It's Mousesports are ahead by 3. They've got a lot of money to work with here. 3 players with over 12k at the start of the round. That's the position we're in. That's the situation Mousesports have found them in. A lot of rounds won in a row. Let's see if they can keep that going. Chris J playing a very different position here. He's mixing it up, Lauren. Instead of playing from that passive angle, he's actually going to come in through Secret.
And I like it. Why not do it? He hasn't played it yet. We can still hear the music going on. That'd be nice if it could stop. Thank you. Mitch does it on talkback. I just say it on air. But I actually like this. Because one, he can see if it's a complete fake or not. So they've used a lot of their utility out there, but not gone for the hit. So you can kind of tell everyone else, no one's pushed. There's literally no one here. And then you've got Dennis as well, playing towards the outside, so just in case they'd kind of peeked, you know, gone a little bit closer towards main. And now Robs gets to play into this, but Scream with a blinder. That's, you know, a quick wake-up call for Robs. You know, you got to be ready for this one. This is, you know, these are the big leagues really here. And you're going to get just decked down by someone like Scream on occasion. Not much to be said about that beyond a nice shot.
I wish
now,
I could say that phrase, Lauren, but my accent prevents me.
It doesn't make it sound great for you. Now, it does. You do see the trades coming through, and I need to get myself back into the game, because so far, Oscar's just about keeping this one together for Mousesports. Him finding that frag towards Happy, on towards, I guess, that squeaky area, made all the difference. Brings it back to this far greater situation towards Mouse.
This is, again, another round where EnVyUs have a position where they win out very comfortably in ramp room. Now, that can be a real bottleneck for T-sided players, right? One CT, he can get a kill, get a favorable damage trade. He can just back away, Molotov or smoke, like we saw Maniac do for LDLC last night a lot. They win that battle, they take minimal damage, but they don't go to the lower side. Now, what they should know by now is that Mousesports are very passive on the way that they set up on lower. In fact, they don't set up on lower. They play upper, they play rafters, they play ramp room, they play secret. Maybe towards double door.
This is what I want to see from Dennis. Just get, oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. It's only against an ecoed up team, but I like seeing Dennis doing this now. If he starts to feel confident in it, he'll play by T-Red. He will just, be a little bit supportive throughout the map. Kind of, bolster the numbers wherever required. And now it's about just minimizing loss, minimizing damage, not allowing bomb plants. Simple as that. That's on the kind of to-do list. LOL, why are you getting caught out like this? XMS just easily going to take that opportunity to rush him down. And now Dennis goes down too, and it does get saved in the end, but a needless kill possibly coming in there. Just a bit of a, I don't know, that was a bit of a shame.
Interesting for Lol to play so close there with the USP as well. I think he had 4A1S.
Yeah, he did.
And you can see this now as well. Like, he spent 5.5k in this round. So that death, this is what allows EnVyUs to maybe start to get closer to keeping a cap on this Mousesports economy. They actually probably spent more money almost and made in that prior round. But still a couple of players with plenty to work with here, and Mousesports with a good buffer of rounds. Envy come in, is rifles for all and sundry. Gonna be 2 Galils. AK's in the mix here. Now, Dennis, that lovely shot to open up. This time it's going to be smoked on the outer by Mousesports to give them some control.
Now, he's not going for the aggression, because you can see players like Happy looking for this as well. Maybe, well, I guess if you're playing against Mousesports and you know that Dennis has started to kind of do something a little similar to what he's known for, you keep it in mind. And that's not a bad thing. I actually quite like that awareness from Happy, just to keep that as a possibility. Now the smoke's being lined up here. It does look as though this could be a hit towards outer. I'm not too sure yet if Envy are going to commit off it. They did sell a bit of a fake before, but again, this time Chris J's still down secret. Last time he was able to spot out that it was a bit of a fake, bit of a ruse. This time they might be going there.
And don't mind this variation. This isn't the straight line smoke we see from a lot of teams. This actually allows you to take a lot more presence, but that's Chris J with some of his own. Puts the foot down, but a good response from RPK. That's dangerous times. A repeat for Chris J could have found him yet another kill. So Mousesports, they trade out. EnVyUs get a kill. Now they go lower. Oscar's there, though. Nice receive.
Yeah, really well played by Oscar. You can see already on the minimap, Rob's being rotating down from ramp, but not needed, not required at this point. It's RPK and Happy trying to even out the odds here. Not going to get it done. Dennis quicker on the trigger.
Sharp last few rounds.
Yeah, this is good signs for Dennis. Maybe a bit of a wake-up call for him. We know that his performance can be just here, there, and everywhere sometimes, but he's having a nice game here. And that's good for Mousesports. This CT side so far is looking pretty robust.
9 rounds to 3. And EnVyUs have often lacked in Arsenal. That last round, they had to sort of spread themselves between Galils. I mean, they got kind of reset in a way, and they lost 3 rounds on a trot and then sort of won a couple. So that's why we're sort of seeing this kind of economic situation. But not good either way. Pistols for them here. So, do they make an upper execute? It's one player around to the outside. They have no smokes, right? So playing outer is just suicide here. You could just bang it through towards upper, see what you can get. Sixer can play up on the rafters. That's fine. But it gets spotted about now.
Yep, there it is. It was actually Dennis to get the shot. I think it was Oscar in the end. 3 for him. Just padding himself out at this point.
Yeah, it was like a vertical shot. He saw him on the... I probably heard him as well.
Yeah, more than likely, even though the footsteps were quite close to the timing of him shooting anyway, so maybe a little muffled, but clearly not enough. And Oscar fighting for this round. Lovely work for him. Too stretched yet in the aspect of being pushed to his limits. Quite comfortable kills at that point, and Dennis to close down the final. But more importantly, clean round here for Mousesports. So again, their money stays perfect, and little comes through for EnVyUs. They're still scraping together. There's somewhat decent buy finally. No AWP there to be seen, which is a bit of a shame, but for rifles, they're sitting pretty, but yet not to really make an impact after that bit of a timeout we had.
Yeah, and look, if you're at home and you're sort of wondering maybe why we're not getting too carried away, I'm not saying Mousesports have won this out, it's because it is Nuke, and we've seen EnVyUs struggle on that T-side, and Mousesports are Mousesports on this map, and they just haven't shown us much of anything at all here. 5 AKs for EnVyUs. It's an AWP for Chris J again. He's actually playing it more passively this time. He's not getting right up in the face, he's sitting back towards the middle garage.
This is nice, though. There's the aggression we want to see, and it works out well. Surprised he didn't get punished for that, and he actually might make it away scot-free too.
That's audacious.
Even better. And he doesn't take that much damage, considering what he was able to get away with there. Walking away with 40 HP is a bit of a miracle. Now, Scream's gone for the smoke there. I can imagine that's his put down a little bit deeper. It gives him a bit of play towards ramp, covers off one of the several angles you get peeked from.
Do you see this passive play from Robs? He doesn't try and peek over the smoke. He doesn't even try and pick the side of the box. He gives it away and lets Chris J just move into position. It's just in tandem those two are playing. You can see that Robs is not the kind of player that seems to want to challenge that. And for Mousesports, it works because they've got players who will go for that, who will come in and pick those kills up. Six is on the outside. The smoke's just about to clear, but before it does, he gets himself down and towards the lower. Happy was hoping to try and make something happen, and at the upper side, it doesn't work out. And the whole time, the bomb was back even towards just radio room or way back, so it wasn't in a position for EnVyUs to use it. And now it's kind of bad for EnVyUs. This is pretty dodgy times.
Yeah, they've got enough buffer to kind of weather the pistol round, but the problem is that the CT side, if you don't build up that money early, there's always a chance those first couple of rounds can be so volatile. So when they go into the second half, it could be a real issue here. But we'll see if that does become a factor. If they can maybe get whatever's left for them, there's a certain chance they could really turn things around. But it's tough. It gets tricky.
It's just straight up harder to re-establish your economy if you get behind as a CT as well. As we do see those snowball effects, intentional, actually, the way it's built into the game. So, some presence towards lobby and even towards that upper site so far for EnVyUs. It's just a couple shots traded and nothing really committed at this stage. See, Scream's already come a long way forward. But Dennis, he's been on fire. He plays like Shox actually around the outside of the map. I think is like a good comparison to make. Shox really likes to play forward, past Redcon, peek above the smoke, and just change his positioning every round.
Yeah, and you can see Envy just reeling off the back of that loss already, just suffering. And now XMS looking to try and find a play towards ramp, but there's still Robs here. He's not had any reason to back away yet. Maybe overstaying his welcome this time. Chris J wasn't there to support, but now he is, and he makes the impact happen.
He's so good.
This feels like a Chris J I haven't seen in a while here. Dennis as well, finding happy. This is scary to see a very diligent Mousesports. You saw it with a little bit of resurgence after Nico left, but he didn't think he was going to stick around. But nice work so far on a map that's not really sitting well in their pockets thus far, but this might be the turn of what we could expect. But RPK's got his own mind. Maybe could be made up in this round. We'll see. He's already tagged up Dennis pretty low, down to 18. Oscar could be his downfall.
He doesn't have the bomb, though. That's the issue. 30 seconds left of the round. So RPK there gets himself out a bit of breathing room, has to sacrifice some health for it, but it's about the same as Dennis. He's got time to plant. It has to be upper at this stage. He can't. I don't think he goes lower. I think it sort of costs him a little bit too much time. But Dennis plays his passive, he plays it smart. There's a Molotov here to deny. Just lovely. Really lovely. 3 kills for Dennis in that round. Sick half from Mousesports in general. And here we are, 12-3, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's been a very long half. We had a bit of a break in the meantime. And we're going to have another one here as well because it's customary. It's what we do. It's tradition almost here at the ESL Pro League. So we'll be back after a very short interim. We'll see you soon for the second half.
round.
Was this LoL's back 10? Oh, that's kind of spicy. That's after the grenade exploded in his face. So XMS was just, well, focused.
Let's put it that way, yeah.
Focused.
But look at this buy, RPK, happy, XMS, pistols.
This money screen saved it, I'm telling you.
It's genius.
It's crazy the butterfly effect it has from not buying in the first round, Laura. Now, UMP, flash, armor, the good stuff. The real good stuff. In fact, that's all you need. In fact, with CSGO playing out the way it is at the moment with the weapon and balance, you'd almost rather a P250. But anyway, XMS, tagged up through the smoke there, wants to hang around. You will see traces from a Desert Eagle. It's unsilenced. No more challenge there. XMS taken low. Mousesports seem to be content with that engagement for now.
They don't need to rush. They've got the utility, they've got the weaponry, they've got everything they need. The only thing that could maybe hinder them is Happy here. He gets the info but gets outdone. You're not going to be expecting him to be nailing those shots on every single opportunity, but it does mean the Mouse now get a step down towards lower. But there's a player just to the left here of Dennis, and that's Sixer. Oh, and Sixer does some work finding Christian, and he's going to back again. This is being read well by EnVyUs, but they're putting all their eggs in this basket, and Mousesports actually might fall to this.
Sixer challenging here as well. UMP coming in. Oscar might be there to save today, but no. Sixer shuts him down, receives him as he just tries to pick out from the vent. Sixer was ready for that, but not fast enough on the trigger finger. And this round hangs in the balance. Robs has the bomb on the outer part of the map. No, it's just the minimap being a pain in the ass. It's going to be in the lower levels here. So, Lowell heads up. I feel like Robs... Yeah, he's heading up towards the upper side here. A little bit compromising, smoke down. There's no players in his immediate vicinity. XMS is the closest player to Rops right now, so he should get a plant through this. XMS could theoretically have spammed through if he was in position in time, but he's not, so this is now turning around for Mousesports a little bit more. Lowell will have to be damn fast responding to this. XMS is going to have to pick his poison. Left or right, one or two. Takes one, it's traded out. Now Lowell and Scream, both full health. Scream, well, he made a mistake in that first round. Now can he redeem himself? It's the 1v1.
Well, there we go. Redemption is given over. Scream does make it happen, and maybe Lowell just not expecting him to walk up and just stare him down, but it will be 4-15. It's still a mountain of a comeback they'd have to go on with no mistakes, which is the near-on impossible part. But Scream will at least really, you know, get a bit of dignity back in this, you know, maybe make the scoreline look acceptable. Okay. Just straight on the AWP and over to Oscar. So Chris J seems to be AWPing CT side on Nuke, and Oscar on T side. So maybe just switch up.
I mean, and VP do this as well.
Yep.
They have Pasha and Snux. We even saw Neo play the AWP as well at one point. So sometimes we see this like side-dependent stuff, whether it's sharing or whether players just feel better at a certain time. It's nice to be fluid in that way. And the only thing Mouse really go without is, I guess, the heavy weaponry in the life of Oscar, who had the AWP and got mollied immediately. I think he wanted an early
plan
peek.
all along. Saw Oscar with the spawn, just like, yeah, go on, you go in first, mate.
Well, I think that's his whole plan. That's how he's going to become the main AWPer for Mousesports again, actually. He's waiting in the wings for his ascendancy.
We had a great first half with it.
It was real nice.
XMS
Dennis. We need some more Dennis.
Here we go. See if Christian is going to peek around that far in the corner. He is. Nice prediction shot on towards XMS. Not caught out by that. And Six is watching the push down towards ramp, but obviously they can kind of sneak down there cleanly without having to face him if they don't want to take the
really
control.
small gap.
Yeah, so they're already downstairs. Dennis getting some work done. You can see the two smokes, one towards control window, one towards the doorway, but RPK still somehow finds some room to operate. I'm not even sure where he was, but Scream gets found and the bomb's being planted.
And Happy's also in the observatory room. What do you want to call it? I don't care what it's called. Happy's there, but he won't see too much. You probably see Lowell. He's got the FAMAS here. Lowell doesn't make sound. The door was already open. Still doesn't manage to get it done. Sixer is able to respond. And Christian now's on a 1v1. It's AWP versus AWP. Christian with 3 rounds, kills in this round, should I say. And Sixer challenges yet again. Not the first time he's clutched out big with an AWP, and he keeps EnVyUs alive.
He made it look pretty cool. He went for a little, 360, made it look a little snazzy. Don't think that was really why he did it, but I like it. I like the intent. And there you go, second one to go on the board. And Mousesports' money gets pretty depleted. They can buy a little bit, get a couple of pistols if they fancy.
Yeah, they plant in that round, but that's all they really get for it. So they're probably looking for the same here again. But look at the money of EnVyUs. They keep going down to 1v1, so they're winning rounds. But we talked about the CT economy being really hard to develop and build up, and you're seeing it right here. They're desperately getting these rounds, and that's the thing at this stage in CSGO. You might be keeping yourself alive, but you're not actually investing in, and you know, building up your bank for to be able to take position and win it out.
Six and yeah, you can see the caution. He's already going to back away. He doesn't want to take those fights in case he gets overwhelmed by those pistols so quickly. Now Dennis straight away downstairs, not worrying about Vent. Now he is, because Scream's already found one of his teammates, but he does avenge him well. Now, how do you do this one from this point onwards? You've got a bomb, pistols, and not much to play with. Six is already going to make light work of Oscar.
A plant would be nice for Mousesports. A few players have already dropped into the lower side. This is a bit risky. Go towards outer, hope to play into L. It's annex. They know there's an AWP at large here. And Six has already got up into Crow's Nest. PK, he's going to wreck them here. Not much you can do about this one at all. EnVyUs were ready. Their Mousesports were looking for an easy plant. A way that they can sort of just not get completely slapped. But good coverage over both of the sides for EnVyUs here, and Mousesports, yeah, can buy pistols again, or try and work in with some sort of, was it higgledy-piggledy? I've used that before, actually. I like that one, Sponge, from last night. They can try for that, and they will. Yeah, Tech9s come in, force pistols until you run out of cash money. And EnVyUs still, Scream buys down to 0 in that round, but they've got now some better weapons to work with.
Yeah, their money's not bad. They're still sitting on, I think, like around above 2k, so they can get a decent buy next round as well. Ideally, though, you can get some damage done here. This is a prime opportunity to do it. Chris J straight in towards up, gets a little tagged up, a little caught by Scream, but I don't think Scream expects him to be in this sort of spot, and now he's kind of behind enemy lines. You're going to have to kind of give him room to work, maybe. Allow him a second or two.
Just get a cheeky trade that no one's expecting. Oh, this is nice. Six is not ready. He's got the AWP. Is he looking? He's not. Oh, it's nasty. Okay, Chris J, and he likes himself an AWP every now and then, doesn't he, Lauren? He's taken down though, so ultimately it results to no more than a trade. The AWP's not dropped in a safe position for Mousesports to reattain, because Happy's going to be coming back up. Screens watching via Annex here. Tech9, balanced weapon, or is it? 78 points somehow. Lol finds him filthy, but EnVyUs now going to come back in. 3-2. Famous tapping at the long range, and Happy completes the frag.
All right, Rob, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do here, bud? You've got Tech9, bit of armor, and a bomb looking
below
like
you.
it's under the floor.
It is below him. That's... Oh, no, he's got it.
Yeah. It just showed like a...
The outline, yeah.
All right.
So his AWP is actually still over towards Mini. XMS is behind it. Oh.
Thing is, if he scopes him once...
With great power becomes great responsibility. Rops, don't succumb to it, my friend. 20 seconds.
Oh, the old vent. RPK was there before.
Right.
Great foresight from Robs there, just to consider it being a factor. Now he's got the 1v2. He can readjust, but there's always going to be some angle that's not safe. He's going to have to gamble some of this. I think he might... No, he didn't catch a glimpse. Right, he's going to adjust and expect a play from Crows. But actually, I don't think either of the plays are going to come from this direction, so...
You heard that. That's big. Oh, that's so big.
What's he going to do about this one?
If he peeks into Hut, the player inside Vent can kill him. He needs to check that. No, he can't. Happy. Ready to meet him, receive him, and EnVyUs have won. Again, clutch situations in the last few rounds. The Mousesports can't complete. Stage right. I'm not really sure what's going on here. Mousesports are so close.
But this is the buy. All right, they've suffered through the losses that Envy caused them. Envy just turned it around really nicely. No discredit to them. They worked hard on that. There's a couple of questionable moments. Like Scream letting Dennis kind of like right around behind him, but still, it happens. Back onto the buy, back onto the important thing. This is a big round here now. If Envy suffer through this, if they get this one on the board, if they do well here, this could mean actually maybe a competitive matchup is going to come through. But Oscar going to take an aggressive stance and go straight for that peek through from Squeaky. No one there to wait on the other side. Scream not going there this round. And already we're going to see Mousesports hit the brakes a little bit. They don't have to rush anything. Dennis is actually in a good spot. He could actually maybe pressure this a little further.
Happy is going to play this one pretty patiently here. This part of that's pretty interesting now. The changes to secret he can sit above the staircase. It's kind of reminiscent of what we see in Connector on Overpass. And you can see that's why Happy's actually being a bit more passive playing it. Especially if it's later in the round. He was kind of close up to it. XMS gets spotted out by Rops there. Chris J takes a little bit of damage, and that was like a squeaky door. I think Scream pressured him from above.
And they're giving time in for Oscar as well. He's got the AWP. He's going out towards the outer side of things. Try and get a pick or two maybe, see if anyone's willing to challenge. And the timing might work out favorably. It does! Just got there in time to spot out the shoulder peek and does eventually close down on the shot. So, man advantage to Mouse, but not much ground gain. They do have outer control. I just want to see where they convert it toward.
Scream now getting a little bit nervous. Knows he's got Not a heck of a lot of protection up on that ace. I think he's the only player playing upper right now and having lost the Crow's Nest player. So that's good for Mouse. They can start to come in, but Rops falls to XMS. Was there lower levels? Okay, Lowell keeps it even out. 3v3. What can he do? RPK response from on the upper side. Scream's also going to be there. It's going to have to be Oscar delivering here, but he's got the AWP. He's low on health. He's taken some tags, and now he's had to head to the lower side. No choice to go for a plant here. The backup from Dennis, he's not really close by, and Oscar has to hold this with... Dennis is... Okay, he wants to catch rotators here, but EnVyUs have so many other ways to access the lower side. His bomb's going to be bloody defused before he gets a chance to get there at this rate.
Yeah, he's given up on that.
Bloody
That's a donezo. This is getting a little worrying for Mouse. It looks like they're just full on run out of steam. I'm wondering if there's going to be maybe a tactical timeout or something of the such coming in, because they might need it soon. Dennis isn't going for this, but you can see how worried EnVy are about it. Dennis is just saving that one. He's all right. And the defuse will be coming in. At least they don't forget to do that one. No worries. Yeah, 3 alive for EnVy there as well. So their money's going to stay pretty nice and well kept. Mouse can go on a buy again, though. That's not the end of the world. Orbs can be dropped out from. I think Dennis is going to get dropped over by Oscar, so they switch it around. But yeah, I'm not sure. Mouse seem to be hitting a bit of a wall. This would be their last real go at it with this decent money until maybe a timeout might need to be called here, because EnVy, they're looking strong, to be fair.
Yeah, don't be fooled by the scoreline, I think, is probably the real story here. EnVyUs have started to build up a lot of momentum, and the only reason Mousesports buy here is because they lost the last 5 rounds, so they have a bit of a, you know, a bonus to work with, and they're going to have a bonus to work with for the entire game. If Mousesports, if that's reset, Mousesports have won. You know what I mean? They're going to win one more round. Seems obvious, just want to point that out. So that's actually, it makes a big deal here. It does mean that they're sort of going to be always getting some sort of crappy buy in every round, you know, buying UMPs and some sort of not so great stuff. It means the saves, they can actually sometimes buy a little bit in these pistol forces and saves as well, like utility-wise, because they make extra money. And of course, they're on that T side, so bomb plants, even if they lose a round, there's a little bit of extra money for everyone. Very important.
We're seeing a bit of I guess, a classic Nuke, right? You know, CT side's just able to grind back the rounds. I guess when we've been watching a lot of specialists play this, you can see the difference when you can play a T side well.
We've been spoiled a bit with this map,
We have. We've seen some very good teams on this. And XMS and Scream have a nice little crossfire here. This should play very well into their hands. I doubt there's going to be much of a rebuttal. At this point, Lowell's going to find one, and the slowness of that kill coming in from XMS means that there's room to work. But it's only Chris J left in a 1v2. 12 HP doesn't give him much room to play with here. And merely 38 seconds. 6 is still on this angle. And RPK isn't far either.
EnVyUs still have bad money. Well, it's not very good. You can see, obviously, Mousesports are not in a great spot, but they keep their lid on this. They don't allow EnVyUs to build up this buffer, because then just one round, you know, Mousesports can exploit that. Even if they lose every round, they can still get the money lower and lower. RPK should really, 9 times out of 10, should take this one easy enough. Takes a bit of damage there, but Chris J... And 15-9 is the scoreline, and EnVyUs have bought it back from a very, very poor-looking margin. I think it was 15-3 or something absurd. It was 15-3, yeah. So that's the way it is. Tech9's here. This is what you can do when you have a full loss bonus ticking along. You can actually buy down to these sort of suboptimal levels and still know that, well, I can sort of force next round if we want to. But eventually, Mousesports are going to have to be a little bit more honest.
Eventually, but for now, they've still got rounds to play with. It's just, the comeback is on. I hate to harp on about it, but it looks like EnVy have a good step into this game so far, at least this half, should I say. Their T-side wasn't much to write home about either, so Let's see if Mousesports might just quicken the pace, do something a little different, but Happy positions well, and Dennis could actually not look down that far into the vent. He was at such a weird angle of it. RPK handling the players so well on the side. That's beautiful from RPK. Oscar's found himself an AWP and does retain HP, so there's still a chance for him here to do some work, but by this point, they've already met so much of a match on RPK. I don't know if he can do much here.
Oh, you're probably not going to save for 70 seconds here, not an AWP. So Oscar, again, for him, it's less about keeping the weapon, it's more about keeping a lid on the economy of EnVyUs. Just prevent that from sort of blowing out of proportion and making it even harder for them to win back. Because it looks like Mousesports need the help. They need that kind of assistance right now. The last few rounds have been just crap. I mean, that previous round, they push into ramp room, they lose 3 players, they commit all their resources there. Now, in this round, we see similar things. Trades not going well for them at all. RPK gets 3 kills, 1 through smoke. They try this rush hit on towards upper. It's pretty textbook for this kind of map to go the upper rush with Tech9s, the same as it is to rush B with Tech9s on a map like Cobblestone when things aren't going well. But there's got to be something else for Mousesports. Now the money's here, they can buy again.
Yeah, it feels like that kind of never-ending circle for Mousesports. They just don't seem to get the impact done in the best ways at this point. I'm kind of confused that they've struggled this much after such a dominant first half. They've just, they haven't taken the time out yet. They're still going on it, maybe just feeling, we're fine. This is still like one of their, I guess, last full buys at this point, but we'll see. We'll see if they come into any issues after this one. If they don't, it's a GG, so Smoke's outside. Six are going to have to back away and respect this. Fall back off the angle. Still got a nice little bit of a cross peek. Not too much of a bother. Upset, going to be smoking out again. So, well aware of the positioning now.
These smokes are not good. They're not good at all. Oh, Mousesports just give one up there. Rops is taken down by Sixer. Oh, God. We are going to be in for a longer game here. Oscar and Dennis both go down. Chris J, the only one to get the frag. What was that from Mousesports? They weren't able to put up the screen of smokes there. I don't know. It was also the positioning there from Sixer was pretty good, but that's the whole reason you smoke properly on the other part of the map. I don't really know what their plan was.
Yeah, no, what it was not good, putting it quite simply. That was just pretty darn poor, if I'm honest. I really hope we get a timeout from Mousesports. I don't know if they've used theirs. I don't think they have. Maybe? I'm not sure. I can't remember if this is when you can get like 4 timeouts and a half or whatever the rules are. It seems to change per event or per day, but at this point, Lowell is left in the 1v4. He's not got the bomb to hand either. That's quite far off. And even Envy players still have so much utility left. They have everything they need, and they don't need it at all. Sixer will connect the shot, and a big round from him.
Yeah, beautiful play. I mean, he really pulled Mousesports apart at the seams now. It's going to be the pause here for Mousesports. Something is not working out for them. We'll have to see what that is. Now, Sixer opens up the round really well, and RPK's been playing that spot quite a lot. He's had a fantastic few rounds.
He's been really good.
I mean, if you watch the, was it the Keys to Victory? It's the YouTube show we do where Matt and Henry basically argue over who's going to win and why.
Yeah. Matt
did bring up on the side of EnVyUs, the RPK. You know, we don't want to talk about rolling back the years too much, but he's been playing much better lately, and so far, his last few rounds have been good.
Like, he's not quite, source level RPK, because he was just a god, but he's definitely finding his footing here to be a way more of a fragging power than people, I think, put towards him initially on his comeback into this, and rightly so. He wasn't exactly a headliner when he was kind of at this point, but now he's starting to turn a couple of heads. He's been very, rock solid almost at this point, providing a lot of that kind of bolstering towards the upper bomb site. It's been very hard for them to break through, whether it be from the old vent or whatever it may be. This has been incredibly impressive.
And slow for Mousesports. I don't know. We really haven't seen much from them. I think we've seen like the conception of ideas, and maybe like these ideas in their infancy when they come into these rounds. But it really doesn't matter because their execution is completely stunted by stuff like what we saw playing from Sixer playing around the outside of the map, by RPK hiding in a corner, by Mousesports again being forced to do this. Now Tech9s, okay, you don't really have you have enough smokes to go towards outer. I think you can do a budget smoke screen that leaves a small gap outside of secret. They might try and do something like that again, but they have to be quick here. A bomb plant will be great for them. They want to work with it as much as they can. Sixer force back and actually won't see any of this here as well. So they get it done. They get the smoke wall. Yeah,
this time they kind of remember to use that additional one, but Scream's still there instantly, so fast to find Oscar. And then the 2 players quickly rotating down for Envy as well. Going to have to ready themselves. Happy there very, very swiftly. Dennis is going to give it a good go, though. Coming through the vents. Ooh, he's followed up towards Happy pretty nicely. doesn't quite get the job done, though, but it's going to open up for LoL to be able to get the job starting to build here. Bomb plant, but there's 3 players left up for Envy, so the retake might be more likely to work out for them. Smoke goes in. LoL's position is duly noted, as he was the one to find Happy. And LoL now trying to find a way in, but the defuse is coming in while we speak. And there it is. XMS to secure another one for Envy.
Overtime is... it's happening. I reckon it's happening, honestly. The money now for EnVyUs is looking really, really good, so it doesn't really matter how much money EnVyUs actually have, of course. But Mousesports are running out of opportunities here. They've got a couple rounds to work it in. This is a buy here. That's good. The round loss bonus is big. It's, I think, 8 rounds lost in a row now. I think that is 9 rounds. 9 rounds lost in a row from Mousesports, and they have shown that they also struggle with this T-side play. I mean, overtime's going to be so weird as well if we see that, because they're both going to be full board up, and, you know, both teams seem to struggle on that T-side, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
There's still enough to be played out here. There's, you know, this is the point. When you're on those 15 rounds, the last one is often the hardest. You kind of sit there like, oh, we'll get it eventually, don't worry. And then you get yourself to this point, and you're just like, oh, shit, we kind of need to focus back up here. So hopefully that timeout's helped them in pulling their mentality back into the right place. But Mousesports do have the out of control. It's converting it to something more than that that's been the issue. And the other players are playing out from Secret. You can see 2 of them down there, Scream being 1, 6 of the follow-up as well. This is problematic. Mouse are being given just enough rope to hang themselves with here.
There's hope. Oscar has the AWP, Rops is alive, and so is Dennis. I mean, Chris J out, but we've got some big performing players here for Mousesports to make something happen. It's a 3v5 to do it, though. That's the big part now. Dennis up the ladder. Does he see Sixer? Oh, my God.
Sixer, no.
Oh, no. This round, this could be the unraveling of the round. Dennis fights 2 on the upper side. 3 for Dennis. Oh, he's making it happen, and it's all falling apart for EnVyUs. Purely because Sixer so focused on the outside of the map, he wasn't there, and Dennis has torn them to pieces at the 3v2, and the bomb is down. EnVyUs, this could be it.
Happy and XMS have just witnessed the unraveling of their team. It's just down to Happy now to play back into this. A kit, a molly, and a flash, but 3 men stand in his way. And that was all Dennis at the end then to secure that one. But it felt like it wasn't going to happen. It felt like OT was inevitable. But what a play from him to find his way back into this matchup. And Mousesports do clear up the series 2-0.